a video on making a pear syrup. So I like a cocktail, and when I'm making an old-fashioned, I use the pear syrup from poached pears. I've run out of the pear syrup because I haven't done any poached pears in a while, so I've kind of thought maybe I will be able to doctor up some pear syrup from a simple syrup, some spices, a bit of lemon, and a pear. Fingers crossed. I can't see why not, because essentially all the pear syrup is a simple syrup with some spices in it and some lemon, and infused with the pear. So should be able to make some up as a little bit of interesting can I do it video. So simple syrup is equal quantities of sugar and water. I've boiled the water just to make sure that it cooks a little bit quicker. So there's 500 milliliters, well, it's 500 grams of water and there's 500 grams of sugar. So we just need to melt those together. Put a spoon in. You can put the cold water in and just make it onto the sugar. It just takes a little bit longer to warm up, and we just essentially just want to melt the sugar. So I'm going to wing it as always, and I'm going to put in poached pears, and I will put in cinnamon, cloves, and star anise. So I've got a little bit. I've got those are the cloves. That's the star anise. I've got one clove. That's going to go in. I've got half star anise. That's going to go in, and then I've got a little bit of cinnamon stick. That's going to go in as well. And then we want some lemon zest. Might as well use it all. I'm going to put some lemon juice in as well. If you're making syrups, there can be a habit of them crystallizing over time. If you put in lemon juice, it stops the crystallization from happening. So we'll put that's probably way too much lemon zest, but that's fine. I'm not going to use it for anything else. And we'll put some lemon juice in, so we'll put in half a lemon juice to start off with. Although, kind of for the acidity of the lemon juice, it'll cut the sweetness. And normally I add lemon when I'm poaching pears to keep them a better colour, but it's quite aesthetic. I quite prefer it with a darker kind of colour to the syrup, so the lemon's just there for flavour. So half a lemon juice. We can always add a little bit more. I'm thinking that one pear will probably be enough for 2 litres with the syrup. So I might make this, let it stew, and then we might add another litre of simple syrup. I'm going to peel it because I don't want the outside. I don't want the skin. It's not particularly nice to eat. And this pear's a little bit too ripe to be poaching, but it doesn't matter because we just want the flavour. Turn that down, and what we're going to do, we'll peel it, we'll core it, because we don't want the core either. So we just want the flesh. So yeah, so if you ever want to poach pears, peel them on the outside, then take your peeler, and where the core is at the bottom, just whip that in, turn it round like that, and it'll just pop out, and then that's the core out of the pear. I'm going to chop it up, so I didn't really have to do that, but it's just one of those little tips that you can have. So therefore you can poach a pear just like that, but I don't want to do that. So then we just need to whip out that bit of the stalk, and then in half. By cutting the pear up, we're going to release more of its flavour into the juice, or rather than just leaving it whole. So it's just a winging it video to see if I can produce something. I've seen old fashions made with all kinds of syrups, even with maple syrup, and they're all kind of quite nice, but I think they're all lacking that complexity that I like in the poached pear syrup that I use in mine. And it also, because the pear syrup's more complex in its flavour rather than like a simple syrup or a brown sugar, I think you can get away with a cheaper whiskey. So because we don't always want to spend a fortune on our cocktails, and using good whiskey in a cocktail, I think it's a little bit of a waste. Certainly when you're going to have a few of them, and you don't really want to spend a lot of money. I wouldn't waste a single malt whiskey in a cocktail. It's just like a complete waste. But anyway, so we'll poach these slowly. So what it'll do is it'll cook the pear, and then I'll do something else with the pear. But we'll bring it up to the boil, simmer it until the pear's cooked, and then I'll pour it into a container and we'll leave it for a week and see how it turns out. I think that'll be okay. I think it'll be a clean container. It'll just sit there for a week. So that's it, I think. Yeah, so gentle simmer, so it's just nice and tender all the way through, not mashed. We don't want that, and then we'll see how it turns out in a week's time. So yeah, I'll repeat myself again. Cook the pear until it's tender, and then we'll pour it into a container, clean container. I'll leave it in the fridge for a week, and then that'll macerate, whatever you kind of want to call it, and then we'll strain it, and we'll have a look at it in a week. So pears have cooked, and it just needs to. I'll just need to put it in a jar now, and we'll put it in somewhere cool. I've tasted it, and it tastes nice, but in a week it'll taste even nicer. So don't need to strain anything out just yet. We just want all those flavours to combine. So just pour it into a jug's easier than pouring it straight into the jar. So into a clean jar, lid on, in the fridge, let it sit for a week, and then we'll come back and have a look. But it tastes it's nice already. It'll be nicer in a week. So the pear syrup has had a week in the fridge, and which is plenty enough time for all the flavours to intermingle. So we'll just have a quick taste. Very nice, very peary, but I think it needs some needs a little bit of lemon in it. So we're going to put some lemon in, and then we're going to strain it, and then I'm not going to use it. The pear's done its job, but I think we'll just leave the spices in for a little bit longer until I'm going to be using it. But we'll strain out the pears. How much lemon do we want? Half a lemon. Give that a proper stir. Yeah, the pears aren't going to do anything more, but the spices might just add a little bit more for another few days. I haven't got any whiskey in the house, so I'll have to buy some whiskey, and we'll have to have a cocktail. That'll be awful, won't it? Yeah, I'll take less lemon. So half lemon. So I think the recipe was half a lemon to start off with. So that basically means that we would be using a whole lemon in this recipe. I'm going to strain the pulp out, so that'll be fine. And that, give another stir. Don't want to break up the pear, so not too much of a stir, and then we'll strain. And then what I have got, which I made ages ago, I've forgotten how long ago I made it, but I did make some other syrup. I infused some bought syrup with some lemon and some spices, so we'll give that a try as well. So I'll buy some whiskey, and then we can have a go at which one worked better, which would be kind of quite interesting. I don't know if anyone's into cocktails, but we'll have those back in the jar just to release a bit more flavour. The pears and lemon done their job. That can go back in. So it'll be, what's it today? Monday today. Cocktails on Friday, so just another 2 days, and then we'll give it a try. I think it's all fine. Yeah, that should be fine. We don't want to press or squeeze the juice out of those because it will make the syrup cloudy. But it's certainly nice and peary. So I'll leave the spices in until Friday, and then we'll strain those out, and we'll make a cocktail, and we'll see how we go. But I think it'll make a nice old-fashioned. So that's that, and then there'll be another video on. Don't want that. There'll be another video on making the cocktail with the pear syrup, which is that one, and then the other syrup, which I made, which is that one, which has kind of gone darker in colour because of the spice in it. So we'll see. We'll see what the cocktail tastes like in a few days' time. I will add, I'm not going to throw that pear away because I've just tasted it and it's lovely. So I've got some yogurt in the fridge, so I'm going to save that pear and we're going to have it with yogurt for a snack this afternoon when I've been to the dentist. Yuck. But anyway, so we won't throw that away. The lemon's not much use. I can't bother doing anything with that. Otherwise I'll just give myself too many jobs to do. But I'm going to save the pear bits, but the rest can go in the bin.